Good evening. Hello, hello. You're third, Daniel. Third is not even, it doesn't even count. Hello, good evening, hello. Boom, 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 boom. How's that? How's that go? Call TJ, he's hammered. No, I know, I was peeking out on his stream earlier. I watched a little bit here and there. I tried to encourage him to drink more and more as the stream went on. I even donated for it. Gave him the old donation for, I paid it forward from somebody here to him. And he drank like a whole bottle of vodka, which if he wasn't TJ would be a worrisome thing probably. But, you know. I mean, if you can't support the delinquency of your friends, what can you do? You know? What's up, Paul? Can you tell my friend Alex is an idiot? Love ya. Smoke shop job is going great. Glad to hear it, my friend. Thank you for the $49.99. I appreciate it. And your friend Alex is a fucking moron. Should slap him in the face for being so fucking stupid. Is my table getting too hot sitting next to this awesome fire? I think it might be. This thing's chucking the heat. Let me scooch this back. Just a smidge. That worked out. Sorry, had to move things around a little bit. Had to do a little fire maneuvering. Who's the Lich? Dude, I don't know. I don't know who the Lich is. He's a mod. Show us the fire. Okay. There you go. She's a burning away. My table was a little too close to it. Starting to smolder. I was like, oh, maybe I should move that and the fire back a little bit. So I did both. And now I think we're golden. You gonna add a swamp cooler out there in the summer? No. You guys will probably see a lot more indoor streams for me in the summer. Or at the very least, like, the outdoor streams will be limited to, like, nighttime streams and shit. Because... yeah, I'll bring an ice chest of Bud Light out here. I missed somebody's shit. You still play ED? I was one who bought you it. Haven't played in months. It sucks setting up your joystick and throttle, yeah. Yeah, I haven't played in a while either. I've been meaning to go back. Marshall Manson plays a little. We wish to thank you, Fish. We have learned from your living streams. We humbly offer this pittance. Thank you, Goat versus Fish. I humbly accept. I humbly accept, sir. Elite Dangerous. Why does absolutely anyone care about my view on skunks? Who knows? Last stream, I got the notification, then Paul ended the stream as soon as I pulled up. YouTube is garbage. Yeah, YouTube really is fucking garbage. It really is. You guys missed a humdinger of a TJ stream today. If you haven't seen that, make sure you're checking out TJ Does Life from time to time. Holy shit, TJ basically streamed all day. He started to stream at like, I don't even know, like 2 o'clock and ended it at like 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock. Are we your therapist, Paul? Yes. You're my unwilling and unwitting therapists. On a stream maybe the other day, maybe from a year ago, you said something to the tune of, the shiver that goes down your spine is best described as a spiritual experience. Does that indicate religious thinking? No. No, not at all. Like, I talked a little bit about spirituality, like, here recently on one of the streams. I don't know if you were there, Phoebes, for that one. And, you know, some experiences that I've had that I consider to be spiritual experiences or something akin to it. I mean, spiritual is it has a lot of weight and implication to it. It implies a spirit, right? But a spirit doesn't necessarily have to be some disembodied fucking ghost or some part of yourself, like a soul that we can't quantify. You know, there are things like the human spirit, and that's where my talking about spirituality or my own spirituality, what little there is, comes from. The idea of finding meaning personally in, for me, it's usually nature. Not always. Mr. Paul, I appreciate your update on the bacon, but is the public at privilege to know the status of Agent Carmen Sandiego? Thank you for your time. No. We don't know where Carmen Sandiego is officially. You know, like for me, like when I was talking about it on stream the other night, I you know, sitting out here can be a spiritual kind of an experience for me. Like I was talking about that hawk that caught prey right out here in my backyard. There was a hawk that, you know, we were on stream, and it just flap grabbed something like, you know, a fucking 200 feet from me. And it sent a fucking cold shiver up my body that, you know, just like seeing something like that made me feel privileged to have gotten to witness it with my own eyes. Staring at the moon can do that to me on supermoon nights. Being near the ocean can be a very spiritual experience for me. I don't ascribe any religiosity to it. I don't worship nature, you know, other than to know that it's, you know, the foundation of our presence here, as far as we can tell, on planet Earth. But I don't worship nature. I don't give offerings to nature. I certainly don't congregate with other people in pursuit of some nature god. But spirituality and religion are not the same thing to me. My messages are visible again. Yeah. Well, I guess I should tell everybody that the annual mass unban has happened. I feel the same way. Music usually helps. It's some sort of connectedness I feel with my surroundings and Earth itself. Yep. Last time I tripped on shrooms, I felt the same way after I cooked some venison on the fire. It made me connected to how humans have lived for the majority of our time here. Yeah. I mean, like, you know, mushrooms certainly can be a very spiritual experience for some people. I typically trip mushrooms looking for that. Some kind of a spiritual, nature-based kind of experience. General spirituality, barring your type of spirituality where you search for meaning in secular society, is still flawed no matter what Twitter says, as it is a false worldview. I mean, it just depends. I think you might be conflating spirituality with spiritualism. Like, spirituality is oftentimes conflated with things like palmistry, tarot card reading, etc. And certainly there are probably some people who have spirituality based upon that, but I think you have to judge, like, you have to judge spirituality on a personal basis, and you have to do it for yourself. It's not really for you to judge the spirituality of another. I could find great meaning sitting out here by myself and just watching this fire burn itself down tonight. Like, for me, that would be something that I would spend an hour or two doing. Just kind of chilling out here and watching this fire. And the more I focus on it, the easier it is to come across thoughts about it. Just got off work, love your content. Thank you, bro. I feel like I can no longer claim not to be a religious person. I had an experience while tripping the other day that I can only relate to feeling like I did when I was in church, but I was in nature. No, I mean, like, whatever. I mean, you had a spiritual experience. I mean, that's spirituality and religion can be the same thing. Sometimes people find a what I would call a spiritual experience in, you know, congregating with other people under the auspices of religion. But that spirituality changes from person to person. Like, I don't know if I necessarily worship the earth. I think a lot of my behavior is functionally similar. Well, sure. Anthropomorphizing animals and the earth itself. I mean, that's a natural thing, I think. I think it's natural for us to do that. In our thinking, of course. We have to understand the functional difference between ourselves and the earth as experiential beings or whatever, but yeah. Like, I really don't have a problem with people being fucking religious anymore. That's something that's very much, I mean, I guess I still do in certain cases. Like, when people are abused in the name of religion, when religion is used as a tool of oppression, you know, I stand in opposition to it, just as I would stand in opposition to anything that was used in those ways. But I really don't give a fuck what your religion is anymore. I feel that humanity has way, way bigger fucking fish to fry than religious thought. Did you at one point? Sure, yeah. Like at one point, I really felt like, you know, religiosity was one of the major problems with our political system. But back in those days, I was still kind of locked into the Democrat versus Republican perspective. And I saw the increased religiosity of Republicans and thought that that was the root of our problem. Or at least a major part of our problems. At least now I'll be a black cutout for you guys. At least now you can see the vague insinuation of my hand gestures and whatnot. I did not see the SpaceX test yesterday. I've come to be okay with being religious, and I mean, whatever. It is what it is. Religion is still a flawed thing. Not only is it a false worldview, it's a false worldview that repeatedly proven itself to cause conflict and discrimination. It must be eschewed from our species. I don't disagree. I'm just not, maybe I just played myself out on the arguments. I will tell you this. When you spend as long as I have engaging religious people in conversation and argument about religion, you quickly run out of arguments from their side, and you quickly run out of ways to fucking package the atheist argument. And it just becomes kind of wearisome. I don't necessarily disagree that religion is an overall divisive, idea for our species, an overall harm, and needs to be kind of phased out. But that's sort of happening, at least in the Western world. The Western world seems to be moving further and further away from the orthodoxy of old religions. You've seen couches with more screen presence than this. Yeah, me too. Me too, bro. Depends on how you define religion. The church is enacting a story, an ugly, hateful, divisive, and destructive story, but a lot of religious people are personally delightful, have a positive effect on those around them. Well, the undercurrent of that worldview is a problem, because that worldview is the root of a lot of social ills, discriminatory social ills, and actual measurable social ills like anti-vaxxing, anti-masking, etc. Can this be a CJ couch stream, please? You can go watch that if you want. I'd be happy to flick you the fuck out of here so that you can go watch whatever it is you want to watch. I do what the fuck I want over here. To be or not to be, Paul, that is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to die, to sleep no more. We'd easily be 1,000 years in the future if religion never existed. How many inventions were stopped, geniuses killed, wars fought, etc.? I mean, the Catholic Church did a lot of fucking expansion of fucking science, and a lot of scientific principles were discovered in the Middle East under strict Islamic rule and pre-Islamic religious rule. So I don't know, man. I don't know if that's necessarily true. Catholic Church also did a lot to suppress fucking science. Yeah, science happened in ancient times. That's true. It's true, 2/3 of named stars are Arabic because of that, yes. I mean, yeah, the church actively suppressed science for a very long time, so let's not forget that. I mean, the church presided over the Dark Ages. You know, an age of newfound illiteracy and both scientific and functional. You know? So let's not get too far afield, but let's also not pretend that religious influence hasn't advanced our scientific knowledge. A dad beheaded his 17-year-old daughter in India yesterday because of religion. Sure, yeah. Sad thing is that that's probably the least of the atrocities of religion. Spirituality is fundamental to human nature and can be a fantastic tool to help people find peace in their existence, but organized religion is typically predatory and used to control. Sure. Religion is nonsensical, of course. Well, of course. But the structure of religion has been used to fund a lot of scientific advancement. And you can't take that from the structure of religion. There was a point in time where there were no people outside of religious people who were literate. It was monks that translated and transcribed books and made them not esoteric pieces of upper crusty fucking collector's items, but actual books that people could get, you know. TJ was white girl wasted earlier. Yes, he was. I really believe Michelangelo would have still made amazing paintings without religious affiliation, but back then, only the church could fund that stuff. Sure. But look what they funded. I mean, think about it. Okay, let's say the church didn't exist and nobody funded Michelangelo. You think he would be better off never having seen the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel, never having seen David? You see, this is where shit gets sticky. Because religion, this is going to be tough for me to say, and a lot of people are going to fucking shit on me for saying it. Religiosity and artistic drive come from the same place in the brain. I will say that again. Religiosity and artistic drive come from the same place in the brain. It's that place in the brain that seeks patterns, seeks to make sense out of things, that causes people to be artistic and to express themselves artistically. It also causes people to search for meaning in things, which by proxy causes people to fall into religion or be easily recruited into religion. I don't have any facts to back that up. I just feel it to be true. Being an ex-religious person and a person who expresses himself artistically, I feel a connectivity there in the place that both of those feelings came from. This is why I don't call for a mass ban on religion. I mean, you couldn't mass ban religion anyway. That's the thing. That's another reason why I stopped being such a fucking hardcore, fucking anti-religion ranter or whatever the fuck. It's because you could like the more you fight against most religious people, the more edified they feel in their religion. It's like it bolsters their religiosity to be opposed. Right. I mean, a ban on religion is ridiculous. Do you see leftist Twitter and TYT are starting to say force the vote action is the only way to get $15 minimum wage passed? After telling us that it was ridiculous to use force the vote to get fucking whatever. I'm honestly, I got to tell you guys right now, I'm going to make a fucking declarative statement. This is a personal statement. I am 100% done with libs. 100% done engaging with these dumb fucks. 100% done doing anything other than pointing and laughing at them or saying things I know that's going to fucking work them up. These people shuffle from one foot to the next so fast you can't even, they don't even notice they're doing it. I am 120% done with these motherfuckers and anybody adjacent to them. If you're acting like a lib and I sniff it, you're out. I'm done fucking I'm just done with these fucking people. They're not leftists. These are not leftists. No true leftist. These are linos. These are leftists in name only. And they need to be excised from the leftist movement and shoved over where they belong. I'm done with them. I'm done with the fucking process of it. I'm done talking to these fucking people. I'm done watching them fucking jump from one position to the next, trying to justify the shit that comes out of liberal politicians. I'm done. I'm done with it. I'm done with it, dude. 100% done with it. The fucking excuses make me want to puke, and the justifications make me want to fucking throw up. Oh my fucking God, bro. I'm just done. Just done with it. I watched a video last night by he who shall not be named. And I'll bring him up in context. Every once in a while I delve into a Vorsh video. I was logged into the Deep Fat Fried account and I saw Vorsh had put up a video called We Have to Stop Doing This. And it's a picture of bombs going off in Libya or Syria. And I watched the video and I agreed with what he said, a lot of it. He took a pretty hard anti-war stance, but there was one part of it that really stuck out to me. And I'm paraphrasing here. And I don't want to try and portray the point uncharitably. But at one point, he compared the bombing that Joe Biden ordered with, like he said, it's like the difference between bombing an arms depot and bombing a wedding when you compare to the bombing that Biden is doing versus the bombing that Trump did. And I was just like, what? But I thought you were anti-war. See, this is what I'm talking about, man. I talked about this the other night. The anti-war left just slunk into the fucking corner and died a cold, lonely death because of Barack Obama. There was a genuine, strong anti-war leftist movement in this country, and then Barack Obama came along and started bombing brown people, and it just like rebooted the minds of everybody. I think that plus just the forever war that we're now engaged in, people just don't even notice war anymore. It's not hot news. It doesn't get the views. It doesn't get people's fucking hearts pumping anymore. We should call people who bring up Vosh unnecessarily as ball voshers. Okay. Fair enough. I'll try and remember it. Yeah. I was talking about I saw that same dude, Doug. There was a guy in the replies. I made a comment about the Vosh shit, or just a tweet about it, that video. And there were people in the replies of that, or one of the other tweets I made yesterday, I saw at least one dude that was like, yeah, dude, because voting Biden equals leftist utopia. And I was just like, fucking, like, what is your standard for a utopia? Is not dropping unnecessary bombs all over the fucking world like utopian? Like, has the standard of what is considered a fucking utopia fallen so low that us just like calling a ceasefire and not dropping bombs on people for a little while is too much to fucking ask? Like, that becomes that's a utopia now. A utopia is when a fucking leftist, a self-declared leftist politician, drops bombs. You know what I mean? I just don't fucking understand. The anti-war left has to come back. What happened to peace and love? Is the Hydeology chat the last vestige of them old hippies that protested Vietnam? I don't think so. I mean, I don't think the anti-war left is completely gone. There are still people out there that are staunchly anti-war. They just get buried by people who want to make excuses for shit-lib politicians to continue to bomb people. So the anti-war left didn't so much disappear as it got squashed because they started to fucking criticize Barack Obama. And that was verboten back in the time when Barack Obama was serving on the left. You don't criticize the first black president of the United States. Who cares how many fucking Islamic weddings and funerals he sends Hellfire missile drones after? And so the lib left started tamping down the anti-war left, and they did it. They did it with comments like the one I quoted out of that fucking Vosh video earlier. It wasn't an attack on the anti-war left so much as it was just endless justification of why when the lib does it, it's okay, but when the repub does it, it's bad. Done with it. And it just gets swept under the fucking carpet. Swept under, swept under, swept under, swept under. I try and ask the questions like, hey, harm reduction voters, how much harm reduction do you think somebody living in Syria right now would say that you did? Or does that fucking even matter? Does it even matter to you what the people in Syria who were bombing or the people in Iran who were soon to be bombing think about the harm reduction that you did? How do the people whose children are sitting in ICE detention centers and they don't know where their children are because they're in some other fucking detention center, how do you think those people think that you've reduced harm? You see what I mean? Perspective doesn't matter to you. You claim to be all about fucking immigrant rights, POC rights, trans rights. Let me ask you another question. How many trans people, newly vetted back into the military, are going to catch an IED in Iran or fucking Syria in the coming years of the Biden / fucking Harris administration? Guess that doesn't matter, huh? Guess that doesn't matter. Whoops, didn't reduce any harm. See, this is what I'm talking about. You just want to shrug it off and go like, my vote for Biden, oh, well, I just did what I had to do, bro. I just did what I had to do. No, you did what you were told. You did what you were told to do. You didn't have to vote for the motherfucker. I chose to do it based on harm reduction calculus. Did your calculus interview any people in Syria? Did your calculus interview any people working in sweatshops making goods for American stores? Did your calculus interview the families of any dead trans people who've been shot in the fucking military? Huh? Harm reduction, my fucking ass. You're excusers. What's the best we can do, guys? What a pitiful fucking movement. Guys, the revolution starts with voting for a reprehensible warmonger. Oh my fucking God. Ugh. What a sad fucking movement. Here's what this movement has accomplished. We did some fucking moral calculus in our heads and decided that Joe Biden was probably gonna be less bad overall. Fucking weak sauce. Fucking write me a treatise. It's gonna go on forever. It'll be remembered just like Marx and fucking Engels are. Trust me, the political treatise of the leftist movement at this time needs to be written. When you're faced with one reprehensible corporatist warmonger and the other reprehensible corporatist warmonger, make sure that you continue to vote and advocate for the one that gives you the most platitudes as a leftist. It is in this way that the revolution shall start. Someone write it. Someone fucking write it. Harm is different under a leftist politician than it is under a rightist politician. Always remember, harm under a leftist politician, justifiable, negligible. Harm under a rightist politician, the worst thing that's ever happened. It is in this way that the revolution will move forward. Write it. Somebody start writing it. I can't do it because, it has to be a true believer. But one of you out there that's, you know what I mean? Get the word out. Let's get it written. Unless there's a major shift in the priorities of the mainstream left, there will always be a lesser of two evil voting. Yes. No, a lot of them are claiming they don't even have buyer's remorse. That's the shit part about it. They don't even look at it like buyer's remorse anymore, Slain Hope. They just go like, no, we all knew that Biden was going to kill a bunch of brown people overseas. Nothing new here, folks. It's like, what? Then why did you vote for him? Well, because the other guy would have bombed some brown people overseas. Oh. Yes. Ayo, Paul, read the chat messages, homie. What do you think I'm doing, dipshit? Talking to myself here? Talking about shit that the people in chat are fucking talking about. There was a test. And I'm sorry, but if you voted Biden, you failed it. Thank you, Paul. I don't know if I want to go that fucking far with it, but, looking back, I feel like I was manipulated into voting for a politician that was as bad as any other that came across me. I was lied to and made to feel afraid, not only for my safety, but health. I mean, I don't know. Look, dude, I'm not saying that fucking 4 more years of Trump would have been a cakewalk, but let's look down the fucking pipe here. Let's do a little future thinking, okay? 4 more years of Trump, which is 4 more years for us to galvanize the left and possibly get an actual leftist politician to the top of the fucking docket. Okay? That's also 4 years of, okay, so what we got instead, 4 years of Biden, who has walked back everything that he promised you so far. Other than letting trans people back into the military, he wanted to, make sure that they had a chance to die in his fucking resource wars. If you want to tell me that that's a fucking boon for trans people, I'll hear you out. But I don't really think it is. So he's already walked back every major promise that he made to you. Shoop. Out the window. And he's going to do immeasurable harm to the world. And at the end of the 4 years, we're going to face Trump again or Tom Cotton. And there's a good chance that Biden drops it because he barely won it last time. So what's worse? 4 more years of Trump and then he can never run again, pretty much. Or 4 years of Biden, who basically is business as usual with trans people in the military. And then another 4 fucking or 8 years of Trump. See what I mean? I guess the moral calculus didn't take that into account. It's a boon from a certain standpoint. It's marginally better than Trumpian policy in that it gives poor trans people access to medical transition. But goddamn, I shouldn't have to risk my life. No, I don't think that it. Yeah, I'm not going to shit on anybody who's joined the fucking military to get a transition. I know that surgery is prohibitively expensive for most people, and most people can never get it covered. But I will say that I think it's a fucking dog shit way to lure people in to what is essentially a fucking meat grinder for eternal resource wars and geopolitical proxy wars. So I think it's fucking disgusting that people have to do it. And I don't look at it as an overall boon to trans people to be thrown into the fucking meat grinder. To be honest, the military has great benefits if you survive, Lamau. Yeah, benefits like horrible PTSD for the rest of your life. You know what I mean? Benefits like waiting in line for fucking 17 hours at a VA to get seen. We treat our soldiers like dog shit, bro. How many fucking people with military jackets and shit you see fucking sleeping under bridges and shit? Seems to be pretty common where I'm from. Seems to be pretty fucking common where I'm from. No one should need to serve to receive medical care, especially for gender reassignment and supplement prescriptions, but Biden won't act on that with any legislative or executive order action. No, he'll just make sure that they can go back in the fucking meat grinder with everybody else. Fighting for your country doesn't even get a roof over your head, lame. Yep. We treat our soldiers like dog shit. We discard them, maimed and lame, back into the fucking world and give a fuck what happens to them, basically. We provide a cursory baseline fucking medical care for them so people don't fucking riot in the streets, but that's it. So many people fall through the cracks, it's not even funny. A lot of people end up fucking going crazy, ended up out in the streets, severe PTSD, severe fucking mental problems from what they went through in active duty. And we don't do hardly anything to help those people. So we treat our fucking soldiers like shit. Because they are. They're disposable little pawns in our little geopolitical scheme. We're all lied to and told that there's some patriotic fucking America-centric reason why we have to do these fucking horrible things. And then we send our young people out there to do them for us. Most of the homeless vets in my town are heroin addicts because the VA cuts the pain pill script and they're forced to turn to the cheaper street option, and military protects the opium fields. Dun 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 dun. A lot of abuse inside the institution as well. Women and minorities are mistreated. Gay people and lesbian people and transgendered people and non-binary people are widely abused in the ranks of the military. This is documented, and very little has been done to stop it. Those military commercials are some of the best examples of advertising. What's good? Not much. What's good with you, bro? Trans people are treated like outright shit by the military, not only by soldiers, but by bureaucracy, of course. The new Army commercial looks like a video game trailer. No shit. They started doing those video game-esque fucking commercials back when I was a kid. Like, go look at some fucking commercials from the 90s and early 2000s. It's all like digital. There's a front line. Targeting. You know what I mean? It's all... They're trying to get kids to believe that, like, going over and shooting a machine gun at a person who's holding their fucking hands up is like a video game, you know? And there are people that believe it, too. That's part of the experience. It's like a lot of, sociopaths and psychopaths naturally gravitate towards fucking service in the military so that they can go do things legally that they could never do, in the hopes that they get to fucking blow a person apart or, you know what I mean? It's national militarist propaganda. I saw a piece of this actually happened. A piece of pro-war military propaganda happened the other day. There was an NBC headline. I actually tweeted it. You can go look at my Twitter if you want to read it for yourself. That I'm paraphrasing here. Basically says that this just in, source confirms that Biden called off a second airstrike in Syria after a woman and children were spotted in the area. You see what happened there? Here's what we'll do. We'll have an airstrike, and then we'll tell them there was going to be a second one, but you called it off because you saw a woman and a child. Oh, well, that balances it out. Yeah, Biden saved them from Biden. Yeah. He didn't save anybody. This never happened. That is straight out 100% war propaganda in the mass media. This story was run with by every major news source in America. Straight out 100% war propaganda. How do I know that? I mean, I guess you got me there. I don't know that for absolute fucking certainty, but I'm letting you know. Nobody runs with that fucking story. That story stinks to high fucking heaven. Good propaganda is always that way. It's always exists in that little fucking gray area of plausible deniability where, like, well, maybe it went down like that. Very rarely does it cross over into outright provable lies, and we found a lot of those too. The Bay of Pigs, the Gulf of Tonkin. Iran-Contra. The arming of the Sandinistas. Our numerous fucking coup d'etats that we've facilitated and supported and replaced the sometimes democratically elected leaders of countries with puppet governments. etc., 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 etc. We don't hear about canceled airstrikes. Canceled airstrikes are not things that are usually released to the public because you may want to airstrike that area again. You don't want the enemy to know that you're planning more airstrikes. So the only reason that a military source would come forward and say, like, by the way, Joe Biden canceled an airstrike is so that the dumbass capitulating news media in America will run with the story. So that libs and people that fucking were against it can go like, oh, I see. He canceled one. Never happens. 100% propaganda. Even if it fucking did happen, it's propaganda. When was the last time it was a national news story that a president canceled an airstrike? I'll wait. I'll wait. Tick tock, never happened. Virtue signaling for not committing crimes after you just committed war crimes. That's certainly modern era propaganda, yeah. Yeah. Dude stabs toddler and then stops himself from stabbing second toddler, thus canceling out the evil deed. Guy that stabs toddler gets morality when he looks at a second toddler and decides not to stab that toddler. It's like, what the fuck kind of fucking world are we living in? What is this shit? He gave the migrant kids 5-star hotels. Yeah, he did. New Cage description, dude. Hot off the presses. Unbelievable. Oh, so Paul's a military commander now. Get the fuck out. Oh, I'm gonna go get something to drink. I'll be right back. Grab a log and throw it on this fire. I had to move it back, dude.
Yeah, I saw.
Dude, I built it up like a fucking inferno. Hey. Oh, thank you. I, for one, pledge my allegiance to Commandant Paul. All right, well, good. You're a smart person. You've done well. You chose correctly.
We got passed out TJ now, Chelsea.
Huh?
Chelsea just popped in.
Oh, yeah? Is that what she said? TJ
Yeah.
passed out?
Yeah.
Oh, my God, I knew he was going to. I'm so sorry, Chelsea. I didn't think he was going to drink the whole bottle of vodka. I just wanted to see TJ get a little tipsy and yell at the stream. Did you make sure he drank a bunch of water before he passed out? That's because, dude, that's going to be a hang and that's going to be an over. Dude, he drank basically a whole bottle of vodka, dude. What kind of drunk is TJ? TJ is several different kinds of drunk. TJ is kind of like, well, he's not unclassifiable, but if you've ever drank with TJ, you know that TJ has very different levels of drunk. Like, so he's got like several different modes of drunk. Level 1 is he just gets kind of giggly and gregarious and laughy, and you know what I mean? That's like TJ with a few, beers in him or whatever. And then level 2 is like obstinate TJ. He's still pretty funny in this mode, but he'll just like won't listen to a fucking thing that you say. And then like level 3, yeah, he does. He will flip back and forth too. Like level 3 to me, that's when he does it. Like when TJ's level 3 drunk, that's when you start to notice that like he'll go from being real angry about something to crying and telling you how much he loves you. And then like TJ, like level 5 is like an incoherent ball of insane emotion that you have to you have to maneuver out of wherever he is. No, I mean, he made some good bread today, so good on him for that, but oh man. I swear my axe in service to the legate and his legion of doomers. Cool. I'm legate Paul now. Can I be legate Lanius? Do I have to stay Paul? He didn't get level 5. Oh, hell no. I was trying to tell people that in the chat, Chelsea, because there were people like, is TJ going to be okay? Did TJ drink too much? Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, look, dude, if you've ever drank with TJ, you know that, like, for his size and his tolerance, what he drank, like, he's drunk, but he's going to be fine. Like, yeah, no. I don't think TJ even got close to level 5. TJ was somewhere between, like, level 2 and level 3 today, I would say. If he would have drank like another half bottle of vodka, we could have seen some level 4 TJ today. Because it does compound, you know what I mean? He exclaimed, he is a woman at heart. God love him.
What level would you say you were at after the drinking contest?
On my personal scale, my personal scale is different from TJ's.
Yeah.
Paul level 1 drunk is just like Paul, but extra. You know what I mean? I get extra funny and I get extra, like, I try to be the life of the party and I try and involve everybody. Paul level 2 drunk is I want to have a deep conversation and I'll probably end up crying about it at some point. Paul level 3 drunk is what I was at the end of that. And there's really nothing beyond that. Paul level 3 drunk is incoherent, blubbering mess. I basically revert back to a 2-year-old. So level 1, happy, having fun. Level 2, more interested in like trying to fucking tell people how much I love them. Number 3, incoherent 2-year-old that weighs 300 pounds. That's basically it. Dude, I fucking apologized to everybody in the fucking house at TJ and Chelsea's. Chelsea, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to disrespect your house. And she's like, Paul, you're fine. Everything's fine. Taylor, I'm sorry that you had to see me puke. Paul, it's okay. It's okay, Paul. Scotty, I'm sorry, bro. Paul, you didn't do nothing, man. You just drunk, bro. Stevie. Stevie. Fuck you, I'm so sorry, Stevie. Paul, you're fine. Everything's fine, Paul. TJ. I'm so sorry, TJ. I'm so sorry I did this. Paul, it was a great show, dude. You did good things. Go. You're fine. You just need to go home and sleep it off. Salvador. I'm so sorry, puppy. And then I got home, like Stevie and fucking Scotty helped me up the stairs, and I had a knock on the door because I couldn't find my key or something, and Chelsea or Amelia let me in. My memories of that night are very incoherent. She could probably tell the story better from here. Do you want to, babe? Do you want to? Because like I don't remember everything, so just don't leave anything out. What?
Right.
Well, okay. So just make sure you speak up so they can hear you. I'll put it closer to you so you won't be on camera, but they'll be able to hear you better.
So you got home.
Yeah.
I led you into a chair and gave you a big cup of water.
Okay,
You
that's
spilled most of it on yourself.
I poured the water. I drank it and I poured it down the front of me.
Most
Basically.
of it,
Yeah. Okay.
And then you started apologizing to me.
Uh-huh.
Apologized to Dinor.
Uh-huh.
Apologized to Cricket.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And then I think I checked in with Taylor because I'd never taken care of someone that was that drunk before.
Oh,
what
shit.
should I do?
Damn.
And then I ended up giving you a bath. Like you took off your clothes. You had that weird shit on your shorts from the show.
Oh yeah, that's right. The blood of the dark sarcophagus or whatever.
No, like the gross shit that Scotty.
Oh yeah. The fucking stuff we had to reach our hand into.
Yeah.
And then Scotty pulled it out and threw it on me.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I remember that.
And then
I did. For the record, I want to make sure that people know I did not shit my pants. There was shit on my pants.
And then when you were in the bath, you said you wanted it not too hot, very lukewarm, and I did. And then you said it was too cold. You had me drain the whole bath with you in it, and then fill it back up with warm water.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Okay, so wait a minute. I said make me a lukewarm bath,
Yeah.
and then you did that, and then I told you it was too cold, and I made you drain it with my fat ass. See what I mean? 300-pound 2-year-old.
And then I was going to like put clothes on you after the bath, but it wasn't working, so you just laid down naked. I put a pillow behind your back so you wouldn't lay on your back. I think I talked to Taylor some more because I was freaking out. It was fine.
Oh, fuck. What a fucking nightmare, dude. This was, by the way, like a week after she came to live with me. So you gotta imagine that, like, there was probably an impulse once she knew I was gonna be okay to just like pack her shit and be like, all right, I'm leaving. I'm going. I'm trying to pack my shit back in the car and I'm going. Like, I'm not gonna deal with this every goddamn week.
Sad.
Yeah, I don't blame you. It's lame. See, that's why that is the number one reason why I don't do drinking challenges anymore, because there's no way, especially now, that I would ever drink to that fucking level of drunkenness unless there was a fucking challenge on the line. And like, so I just made the choice. I just told TJ and Scotty, I was like, you know, like, I'm not going to stop you guys, but I cannot do this fucking drinking challenge shit. That's why you'll never see me like do what TJ did today, because I can't handle it. TJ's fine with it. If I drank a whole fucking bottle of vodka, I'd be a blubbering mess. And my sweet, unassuming, awesome wife would have to take care of a fucking big, giant, fat, hairy, smelly 2-year-old You know what I mean?
I don't think you puked again after you got home.
No, dude, I definitely no.
You were done puking.
I literally okay. So I remember some flashes of puking. So I was sitting there, and I was like, I don't feel fucking good at all. I was telling whoever was around, and it was Stevie, and he was like, I'll get you some help, bro. And he went and got Taylor.
Mhm.
I love how Taylor's the one that everybody runs to when there's a fucking drunken problem on the hands. So he goes and gets Taylor, and I was like, Taylor, I don't feel good. And she was like, here, I'll help. And she put on, and it did help for a minute. She put on the TV some Posty. Started playing some Post Malone. And so I just focused on that, and I was like, okay. But that didn't work. Like, I got through a couple of songs, and I was like, Taylor. And she was like, do you need something? And I was like, yes. And she had it like lickety split. Now, I got her way before I puked. Like, I just knew it was coming, though. It's actually really rare because I don't drink to that level of drunkenness ever. It's very rare for me to puke while I'm drunk, but it's happened a few times in my life, and I just knew it was going to happen. I went and got it, or she went and got it, and it was basically just like a trash can with a liner in it, like a little, well, it was actually a medium-sized trash can. And she held my hair back, and I leaned forward, and ejected.
I think they took a picture of that for like the thumbnail.
And what came out of me was just pure alcohol.
Yeah.
It was 100%.
You were not sipping water through it at all.
No. I couldn't. I can't drink that much liquid. I had to keep space in my stomach for liquor and beer. Like, no, it was, I just literally vomited pure alcohol. And I there was 3 big pulses of it, and that was it.
I think the reason I talked to Taylor is like I hadn't even met Chelsea and TJ yet. So
That's true.
Taylor was like my only point of contact nearby.
That's true.
Because I was all alone.
That's true. I guess you could have called your mom, but that's not exactly what you want to call your mom about. Hey, my new boyfriend is so drunk, he can't walk. What do I do?
And yeah, I guess I got mad at TJ because like you made him do this.
What? Oh, well, I can imagine. No, he didn't make me do it. He just devised the plan. I willingly did it. For sure. But no, I could definitely see how that could be your perspective as a new girlfriend that just moved to town. Well, the spins just lead to me puking. It's the same thing with me. I get the spins really bad, and typically that's when I'll stop drinking. Like when I start feeling the front edge of the spins coming on, it's like, okay, that's it. But I drank well beyond that capacity. Look at me towards the end of that show. I didn't even know, like, I think that show ends with me going like, what show? TJ says, the show's over, guys, bye. And then I'm like, we did a show or something like that. I was completely unaware of my fucking surroundings by that point. I was out of control. And I don't like that. I did a lot of that in my 20s. It was way normalized in my 20s. Well, not a lot of that. I was actually the person that took care of those people in my 20s. See, if I had been around and Amelia had come home soused to that level, I would have known exactly what to do. But that's only because, I spent my fucking whole 20s doing it. She's in her 20s.
You were coherent enough to like walk me through what I should do with you.
I tried. I mean, I guess I got you. Yeah. I mean, I think I told you not to put me on my back.
Yeah.
Or something. Or get me water or whatever the fuck. I can't remember. You did fine, babe. I survived it.
In your paper shredder, Chelsea?
What?
Stevie puked in her paper shredder?
Dude, Stevie has blown chunks so many times over at TJ and fucking Chelsea's house. I remember one time, I think it was after fucking Dank D&D.
Yeah.
He went into their bathroom after I left. because I had a sober ride home and shit. And after I left, fucking Stevie stayed there and ended up in their bathroom and just like puked it up.
Like, he was the most sober of the group.
Yeah, well, that's because like, I don't know how it worked out. See, I won that shit.
Yeah.
But here's how I won it. I won it by charging, like number one, I rolled perfectly to get all of the bridges, but all the bridges came with a drinking challenge.
Yeah.
And I just took them all. And by the end of it, like, the other guys hadn't even really had a chance to dip into some of the harder drinking challenges and shit. So I ended up being fucking literally nuclear obliterated. Scotty was just plain obliterated. And Stevie was just, like, kind of drunk.
Yeah. And, like, you were there for hours after the show had ended.
Yeah.
So that didn't help me, because I was like, where the fuck are you?
Yeah, dude, seriously. I was fucking, like, I had no sense of time.
Yeah.
And it basically became like an impromptu party because 4 completely fucking drunk idiots just like wandered into the house. And oh, dude, that night was great. Dude, I guess I can tell it now because we don't work with him. Dude, Scotty flipped the fuck out on Zandalar Cryptoducius Esquire that night. He literally lost his fucking mind. I barely remember it, so I can't even fucking... Do you remember the evil shit TJ pulled where he said you had to call your dad and reconcile or take 5 shots? Yes. And what did I do? I took 5 fucking shots. I don't remember much of it, dude, but he literally fucking... I remember him. Dude, it was just like a fucking... It was bad vibes in the room while I was sitting there puking. He was screaming at Zandalar Cryptoducius or screaming about him. I don't know if he was gone by that point or what. But I never figured out exactly what went down with that.
Well, he must have gotten it out of his system because, like, Scotty was the one calling because you couldn't be on the phone. And he, like, asked, like, hey, we're going to bring Paul over.
Dude, Scotty, no, here's the thing. When Scotty's drunk like that, if you're his friend, he will literally give you the fucking shirt off his back and the underwear off his balls.
Well, he was asking me, like, for permission, like it was in a position to bring you home.
Right. No, he didn't want to, because he knew what he was about to dump on you. No, Scotty will take straight up take your back when he's drunk. Yeah. But if he has any reservations about you at all, you're in the fucking firing line, dude. If you tweak him the wrong way, you will get the wrath. I've just seen it happen too many times, dude. Scotty will give it to you, dude. He's an aggressive drunk. I don't know if I'd go so far as to say he's an aggressive drunk. He just can be.
It's probably just emotion, period.
Probably. Well, I mean, that's what all drunks are.
Yeah, it's
like
he has angry emotions.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, dude. I've drank with Scotty a bunch of times, and it's just been chill as fuck.
Yeah. I was gonna say, whatever emotion is there gets amplified, basically.
Yeah, that's true. But, like, I'll tell you, you never quite know what it's going to be. But Scott, like, he hair-triggered me once. I told the story on the fucking show. We were all drinking. It was the Super Bowl. And there was some call. And neither one of our teams was playing. So it wasn't even like there was consequence. It wasn't like Saints v. Raiders or some shit, right? We're just watching I can't even remember who was playing. It was like the Jaguars and somebody. I can't even fucking remember. This is when I first met. This is when I first did, like, come down to Columbus, yeah. And so I'm over there and we're watching the Super Bowl, and there was some call on the field that got challenged. I can't even remember what it was. And I thought that it was down, and Scotty thought it was a complete pass or whatever the fuck it was, or maybe it was the other way around. But I was just doing what I normally do. We'd been drinking a little bit. I was just doing what I normally do, like at football games, which is like, dudes, we razz each other, and if you disagree about a call, it's you argue a little bit, but it never like rose to the point of fighting, and then just all of the sudden, boom. He was like, "Fuck you, Paul. You know what? Fuck you. Get the fuck out of my house." And I was like, "What?" I was like, "Are you joking?" And like to me, that was me asking the question, "Are you joking?" And to him, that was a provocation because he thought that like I was saying he was a joke, and it just went downhill from there. So I immediately grabbed my cell phone and left the place and called an Uber. But that was when Scotty and I first met. Scotty wasn't too sure about me. I flexed on him in his domain. That's what happened. How am I fucking funny? What's so fucking funny about me? Hail Kaiser.
Maybe that is it, Chelsea. Scotty's stranger danger goes up to 11.
I don't blame him. Look, dude, Scotty doesn't trust you till he trusts you. And even then, I don't really think Scotty trusts you. But, like, once you've achieved, a certain level of fucking knowing Scotty, then you're on, Scotty, like, I keep my circle small. Scotty keeps his circle the smallest of us all. Like, Scotty is the king of keeping his circle small. And that's not a bad thing. Like, Scotty he either knows you or he doesn't really give a fuck about you. You know what I mean? Like, that makes me want his love more. You'll never get it, Johnny. You'll never get it. I might. I'm very charming. Not charming enough. I'm just telling you, dude, you're not charming enough. Dude, I will bow down to you. I'll get down to you on my knees on stream if you can genuinely become friends with Scotty and he starts mentioning you and talking about how good friends you are. And I will know if you rig it with him too. I know when Scotty's being truthful and when Scotty's not being truthful. Dude, I'll get down literally on my knees and I will bow to you for like 5 minutes straight and praise your fucking name. It's not gonna happen, bro. I don't care how charming you are. It's gonna have to be after COVID ends, and at any rate, dude doesn't stream. What are you planning on doing? Like going where he is? That's not a good way to start. Or are you talking about like trying to meet him at a meetup? Because that's not a good way to start either. Scotty doesn't need to stream. Never have. What? Are you cool, dude? Are you okay? I will perform the Scotty mating dance. Hey, Scotty, let's be friends to prove Paul wrong. That might actually work. TJ asked me to make him mac and cheese and a hot dog. I just made it, and now he won't eat.
Well, you were saying toddlers.
That sucks. I'm sorry, Chels. If I was there, I would eat it.
Yeah.
I'd eat it. Fucking TJ, dude.
I mean, you were smart enough to not ask for anything to eat.
Oh, hell no. I wasn't going to put anything in my stomach but water. I knew water. What even caused TJ to drink earlier? That stream was amazing. I don't know. He started telling a story about how his mom bought him this king cake vodka for his birthday instead of a king cake, and how it was a joke. And he tried to drink a little bit of it on his birthday, and it was disgusting. And then somebody, I think, paid him for a shot, and that turned into him drinking the whole bottle, like something like $800 later. And yeah. Yeah, I popped in and out of TJ's stream today.
Yeah, we were waiting for like 3 hours for Dynamore.
Yeah. Where is that little turd?
He's inside still.
Oh, okay. That's a lot of dough. $187, dude. There's 187 people here. Maybe I should end the stream. Maybe that's a warning. I'm about to get murdered. That's the police code for murder. Calling all units in the vicinity. Possible 187 at the corner of Clinton Street and 145. Just, roger that. This is unit number 3. We are en route. Yeah, dude, goons. There might be goons. Oh, no. Hey, Paul, what's the role of artists, musicians, filmmakers, and writers in the labor movement? I mean, I don't know. Like,
well, there's been writer's strikes.
Well, for sure. I mean, like, besides being part of it, like, I think that they can lend their talent to it and creating, pro-union propaganda. I mean, there needs to be, like, in a world that is absolutely fucking filled to the brim with propaganda, there needs to be pro-union fucking propaganda. We need to counteract the negative union propaganda that's being fucking put out by big companies. You know, maybe propaganda is a bad word for it, but I mean, it needs to happen. There needs to be a counter, propaganda movement, and I would imagine that writers and songwriters and movie makers of all kinds would play a big role in that. I watched a really cool documentary on the Disney artist strike recently. People were passing out for manipulation, so the top artist organized a union and Disney fired him. Wow. But Paul, how will you outpay all those bot judges and Congress people? LOL. Gotta love it. Gotta love Disney. Huh? What if we're the aliens? What? Man, I think I might be getting too high. Maybe hold on. Let me set down this vape. Maybe the vape is too dank. Did I miss a super chat? I feel like I fucking did. No, I didn't. Okay, I'm fine. Unrelated, but are you in favor of open borders? Yes. I mean, not necessarily just like as a national policy, but as a global policy, yes. I think that humanity would be far better off in a global society where you could move wherever you wanted to live and there was not an economic barrier to you doing so. It's one of my utopian dreams to have a world that is accessible. Do you believe in the abolition of all cultures? No, I do not. I believe in the continued creation of a global culture and the continued celebration and localized reverence of local culture. So long as local culture doesn't directly fucking conflict with the health of the fucking rest of us. Like if it's your local culture, for example, to spread disease, then you'll probably be infringed in my global society. But you know what I mean? Local culture is not something that I think would even need to be abolished in a globalist society. Imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to do. I need an easy friend. That'll never fucking get old to me, dude. That'll never get old to me, dude. Hit the high note and take on me. I can't. Not even in falsetto. I'll be gone in a... I just hit it. That's the high note. I just had to really fucking do it loud. Now that probably echoed for miles. That was the note, though. I'll be gone in a... talking away. Dude, I can do that song. I just have to yell it. I just have to holler it. Hey, Train, did you hear me hit that high note? Take on me. Yep. He heard me hit that high note and he was like, toot, toot, bro. I hit the take on me note and summoned the Hogwarts train. Oh shit. Cool. Was that the take on me note? Toot toot. Dude, I hope it doesn't summon the Hickenlooper. I gotta go fucking warm my buns by this fire for a minute. Warm buns time. Time to warm the buns. Dude, I can't believe I hit the take on me note. I would need to like special recording equipment, or I'd really have to like back away from the mic when I hit it, but nobody likes cold buns. I know, dude. My butt gets cold out here. My booty gets cold out here. My booty gets cold, cold, cold. I stand by the fire 'cause my booty gets cold. And I'm getting crotchety, and I'm getting old. There are many more tales to tell, and so many already told. But none of them can be told when your booty's cold. My booty's cold, but you warm it, honey. Take on heat, take on heat, take heat on. Take on heat, I'll be gone. I'm not gonna do it again because I don't want people to think somebody's being murdered on here, you know. But I did it earlier. Oof. Well, you know what? Rather than sit out here and let my buns get cold, I'm going to go inside, finish up some research that I have to do for tomorrow's filming. I want to bid you all adieu. Thank you for checking me out tonight. Thanks for chilling. I'll see you next time. Bye.